TOMS, Shoes for Tomorrow. We must ensure that the global market is embedded in broadly shared values and practices that reflect global social needs and that all the world's people share in the benefits of globalization. TOMS was a revolutionary company that came about after the founder, Blake McCoskey, took a trip to Argentina where he saw a country full of poor children in need of shoes.
I mean, when I went down to Argentina, the idea was to play polo, drink some red wine, have some fun, clear my mind. Where the polo farms are in Argentina are also very close in proximity to a lot of very impoverished villages and areas where people are living on, the bare minimum. And it didn't take long before I became kind of curious as to why these people, didn't have the modern or normal conveniences that, we grew up having in the United States. And I thought it was so interesting that they were doing a shoe drive, meaning that no one had shoes and that they were having to go get old shoes and get people to donate shoes. And when I heard about this, I said, well, I want to go see this. I saw lots of kids that had, shoes that were totally tattered, too big, too small, no shoes at all, walking around. And when I saw that, and I saw that all they were doing is trying to go around Buenos Aires and get people to collect old, nasty shoes to give them, I really didn't think that was a good solution. And that's when I came up with the idea of TOMS.
In learning that the majority of children were prone to contracting the foot disease podocinosis, which is transmitted to the soil by seeping through the foot's pores and then destroys the lymphatic system and causes uncomfortable swelling, combined with the fact that due to this, many children are therefore deprived of receiving an education, Blake became inspired to help improve the situation. To take the basic structure of the traditional Argentinian shoe and redesign it and sell it in America, determining that for every pair sold, he would then give a pair to a child in need. With this new idea, he created the new business model of philanthropic capitalism, known as the one-for-one movement. Since his company began only a mere 4 years ago, over 1 million pairs have been donated in 24 countries, including Argentina, Ethiopia, China, Peru, South Africa, and even Zambia. So, do you own a pair of TOMS shoes?
Yes, I own one pair.
Do you know about his one-for-one movement?
Yeah, that's actually the reason that I bought them. I thought it was just a really great concept, the fact that when you buy a pair of shoes, they donate a pair of shoes to someone in need.
When we surveyed 50 Auburn students, we found that 28 owned a pair, 38 knew someone that owned a pair, and 36 knew about the one-for-one campaign, while 36 even thought that the one-for-one campaign was quite effective. It is TOMS Shoes' unique business model that is responsible for such tremendous success, not only for the company, but for also helping remedy social needs. TOMS Shoes currently exemplifies the far-reaching effects of globalization, both in the global market and in human compassion. With TOMS being sold in over 500 stores nationwide and in 30 countries around the world, it is clear that this company is doing something right. Blake's company is not solely out to make a profit. Instead, it is a company aimed to solve a present problem in the world, therefore causing TOMS to affect both the global consumers and children in impoverished areas. TOMS Shoes has reinvented the business model to one that blurs the line between brand and charity. The one-for-one business model has made consumers become conscious of where they put their money and has also enabled consumers to have a front-running role in helping to bring about change, which illuminates the new type of activism as discussed in the Lexus and Olive Tree. In such a world, activists have to learn how to use globalization to their advantage. They have to learn how to compel companies to behave better by mobilizing global consumers through the internet. TOMS Shoes is an apparent example of someone who set out to make a positive difference in the world and is now doing it. It shows that doing good isn't just up to the responsibility of someone else, it's up to us. Further, such a charitable business model attracts the interest and involvement of many famous business partners like the Element Skateboards, the AT&T, Ralph Lauren, Neiman & Marcus, and even the Dave Matthews Band. Such involvement helps increase sales and therefore the number of shoes given. It's a win-win situation. The customers are valued, and they know that with every purchase, a child in need and thousands of miles away is positively affected. Not only are the consumer's needs satisfied, but also those of another. Through the one-for-one business model, it is obvious that TOMS is a socially conscious company. Blake recognized from the beginning that many of the debilitating foot diseases affecting over 1 million people in the world, especially in countries such as Argentina or Ethiopia, are easily preventable simply by wearing shoes, and the lack of shoes has led to multiple social issues. Unlike in America, where the average woman owns about 19 pairs of shoes, or typically spends $50 to $100 on shoes, however, in many third world countries and developing countries, this is definitely not the case. Many individuals go without shoes because families cannot afford them due to the lack of money and inconvenience. Further, schools are not in every neighborhood like they are in the United States. There are not buses at every corner. Children are forced to walk if they want to have an education. Almost all schools have a uniform policy, and shoes are part of the uniform. This prevents many children from being enrolled. Every day, thousands of children are forced to walk at least 3 miles to school, shoeless. Because of Blake's commitment to the one-for-one campaign, which enables him to pass out shoes to those in need through his shoe drops, children are not only able to protect themselves against diseases, but also, more importantly, they can attend school and receive an education. Education is crucial to making future possibilities a reality, which is one of the greatest effects of globalization. Further, another positive aspect of TOMS is the company's cultural consciousness. They recognize the importance of providing shoes that are not only functional but also culturally appropriate. The shoes given in the shoe drops are not hand-me-downs or socially or culturally inappropriate shoes. Instead, the shoes resemble the shoes consumers purchase that have been specifically designed to fit the environment and the terrain, and are made to fit children under the age of 18. Due to the success and positive effect TOMS Shoes' one-for-one business model is having upon the consumers, global market, and struggling countries around the world, many other countries have been inspired to adopt this model. Companies like the shoe company, Twins for Peace, the children's company Buddha Brand that donates a book to a needy child with every purchase, and even the eyewear company Warby Parker that partners with nonprofits to give glasses to those in need. The world becoming intricately connected and the ills of society becoming more illuminated, TOMS Shoes has shown exemplary success in embracing the global world and making a difference.
Give me freedom, give me fire, give